Yeah.
I like it. I like it.
I need it. I need it. Oh, girl.
You know very well what you are. You're my sugar thing, my chocolate star. I've had a few, but not that many. But you're the only love that gives me good and plenty.
Juicy fruit.
Juicy.
Juicy.
Yeah.
Juicy fruit. Juicy.
Candy rain coming down. Taste you in my mind and spread you all around. Here I am, oh, this love's for you. Hey, baby, sweet as honeydew. Close my eyes, I'm with fantasy, and you're right here with me. Juicy. Cherry blossom kiss, what you giving makes my body rock, keeps me sizzling. Do what you want, I don't care. I'll be your lollipop.
You can lick me everywhere. Juicy fruit.
You're so
Juicy.
juicy.
Juicy fruit. Juicy. Run next, cut that back.
Like I said, I always try to express my appreciation, to everybody. It's a lot of
Fresh perspective, real empowerment, you better be respected. Lady Fresh on the motherfucking check-in. Breezy got her back, she stay protected. This the fresh perspective, real empowerment, you better be respected. This for the dreamers, it's to get you through the night. Not for the haters that you they don't come outside.
Kim, I just want you to know that I think you are so disgusting and desperate. Who leaves their email address on the machine? You clearly want people to call you, but yet you won't call me back. And actually, you know what? Don't call me back. Don't ever call me back. I never want to talk to you ever again. I think you're honestly a sick human being, and I think you are just so desperate that you'll do anything for attention, and you're just so disgusting. Honestly, so have fun with old Tad Whitney Houston. She's so sick, and crack is definitely not whack with you guys, because you honestly makes me laugh on how disgusting you guys look. You're in Vegas with Whitney, and you need to go hang out with your old friend, and it's not right, but it's okay. I'm definitely gonna make it anyway, because you guys are just disgusting and sick, and stop even with her. I don't understand it. She's so old and sick, and you are just sick and desperate, so leave me alone and stop calling me. Hey, you!
Hello, everybody. Thank you for tuning in to another episode of The Fresh Perspective. I am your host, the one and only Lady Fresh. I am so excited about this episode. We got a lot of things to unravel tonight. Fresh Breezy is going to be joining me. This is actually his story. One of these stories we've been trying to get around to for quite some time. So he's going to be joining me in a little bit to talk about the Notorious B.I.G. and Notorious Big One. But before we get started with anything, of course, I have to acknowledge my wonderful chat, everybody that came out tonight, this afternoon, should I say, to tune into the Fresh Perspective. So shout out to Queen Kels, Don Philly, Bishop, salute my Harlem dude, Miss Parker, thank you so much for tuning in. I can't wait to have you on the show in a couple weeks. We'll be promoting that a little later, but thank you for tuning in. Honda Mommy, thank you for stopping by, sweetie. I appreciate it. Let's see, who else do we have in here? My Lotus flower bomb. I'm always happy to see you, my love. Thank you so much for all that you do. You're always moderating for me and dropping links and circulating everybody's links. Thank you so much. Everybody that has a wrench, you are more than welcome to circulate your platform here. If you don't have a wrench, we will make sure that the mods are circulating your information, because everybody gets promoted over here at the Fresh Perspective. So let me pull up the camera. Hi, guys. It's Sunday, one of my regular days. I'm trying to do better with my consistency and give you guys a couple of shows here. So I acknowledge my chat. Coach Loves, Salute. Erica Love's in the building. I'm so happy to see you. I haven't seen you in a while, so it's good to see you. Fresh Breezy, my love. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. He always makes sure my glass is full. So, just a couple of announcements before we actually get started with the show. I'm gonna go ahead. Breezy, I forgot to send you the link, so I'm just gonna go ahead and drop it in the chat for you. So when you're ready, you can come on up. So, of course, you guys know it's Breast Cancer Awareness Month, the month of October. I have my breast cancer awareness nails. You can see my pink camouflage and my ribbon celebrating. And, this is the month to have an observation, but we should always be aware and be observing breast cancer. So, salute to all the survivors and everyone that, has been affected by breast cancer. This week, today actually kicks off Men's Breast Cancer Awareness Week. Men are affected by breast cancer as well. Over 530 men died in 2021 from breast cancer. They're less likely to actually get it diagnosed than women. So we really, really, really need to bring more focus on that issue as well. And since we are talking about breast cancer awareness and Miss Parker is in the chat, we're going to go ahead and promote our breast cancer awareness episode, which will air on October 27th. You guys, I have special guests, Miss Parker and Katrina. They are both breast cancer survivors, and they're going to come and they're going to give us some information about, breast cancer, what their experience was, early detection. We're going to get into all of those questions and talk about ways to prevent, going undiagnosed and prevent, not finding out, if you have something going on. So I'm so looking forward and I'm so grateful to these ladies for agreeing to do the Fresh Perspective. That's going to be October 27th. And I believe the time is about 6:45. I will confirm that later in the show. But yes, please make sure you tune in. This is going to be a very special episode. And just in case you are not aware, I don't know how you're not, but in case you're not aware, next Saturday, I'll be interviewing the Trill King himself, Buddy Lee. I am super excited about this interview. He says he's never been interviewed before. No one's even asked him. So I'm so happy to be the first to interview the Trill King, Buddy Lee. So he'll be here on the Fresh Perspective. That'll be next Saturday at 7 o'clock. And that's 6 p.m. Central, 6 p.m. Eastern time. No, I'm backwards. It's going to be 7 o'clock Central time. So it'll be 8 o'clock Eastern time. So, yep, we'll have Buddy Lee here and we'll be doing an interview, his very first interview. So I'm excited about that as well. All right, you guys. So I was playing some music to get us started. And so the first song that you heard, of course, is a classic. It is M2May's Juicy Fruit. And that song has been sampled. I believe I looked it up, and that song has been sampled over 130 times or 113 times. So it's a very popular song to be sampled. However, people must understand that when you sample is legal, is the legal way of going about using music that doesn't belong to you. The last thing that you want is copyright infringement, which, we're going to talk about tonight, how big that is in the music industry. Copyright infringement is huge. It's just another word for plagiarism. So you take somebody's song without permission and you use it, it blows up. More than likely, when it blows up, that's when you're going to have problems. But in tonight's instant, we're going to talk about an artist out of Mississippi, the Notorious B1, who actually claims that Puffy and the Notorious B.I.G., who we know and love, rest in peace, for his hit song Juicy, was actually taken from the Mississippi artist Notorious B1. So we're going to get into that, as well as talking about music industry, how this has just been something that's just been going on forever. A lot of our favorite songs and a lot of our, very popular songs that we're aware of have been accused of plagiarism, have been accused of copyright infringement. and have even gone as far as to going to court and battling out in court. And so I actually have a couple of those songs here that I can tell you about. So probably the most popular song that you guys know that had issues with court is Robin Thicke's and Pharrell Williams' Blurred Lines. First time I heard it, I was like, that sounds like Marvin Gaye. Well, apparently the Gaye family felt exactly the same way. And they were actually taken to court, sued for plagiarism, copyright infringement, and they were awarded $7.4 million and 50% of all royalties for the song Blurred Lines. So Robin Thicke ended up having to pay a lot of money. And he actually admitted to taking inspira- inspiration from Marvin Gaye's version. Oh gosh, what is the name of it? Got to Give It Up. So if you listen to both of the songs, they do have a lot of similarities. And so yeah, there was a huge payout because of not simply asking to use the songs. Another one that I didn't even know until recently. I guess Pharrell just keep messing with this family. Pharrell Williams also was accused by the Gaye family for the song Happy. So the song Happy is actually taken from Ain't That Particular by Ain't That Peculiar by Marvin Gaye as well. So, they have not filed any claims on that, but you have to look out because the Gaye family don't play. They just like Aaliyah's family, they don't play that. So, I wouldn't be surprised if something comes up in the future if they really feel like it's similar. So, I haven't heard the original song, so I'll have to, see for myself. Another one, Ray Parker Jr., the Ghostbusters theme song. That one, they were able to settle it out of court, but apparently Columbia had to agree to give them writer credit. So they stole it from Huey Lewis, and it was a song called I Want a New Drug. So apparently they sampled it without, or they copyright infringed upon them without getting any permission. So that can get you in a lot of trouble. There were a few others, and we can go through some of those a little later. But yes, copyright infringement, that is really serious. In fact, I'm going to tell you exactly what the recommendation is. It says if your work is used unlawfully without your permission and not under a statutory limitation, it is your right to pursue legal action. You must have your work registered with the Copyright Office before bringing infringement lawsuit. So, if you find that someone is using your music and they didn't get your permission, as long as you registered with the Copyright Office, you can bring forth a lawsuit. Now, registration is not required to put music out, but it's advised. So you would register with the Library of Congress, and that would basically put authorship on public records. So they would know that it belongs to someone. And this is going to help you just in case you need to dispute dispute credit or the timing of a song being released. If it's not if it's not theirs and it belongs to you and you have it registered, you do have the right to bring forth legal action. So that is the proper way to get your music copyrighted, is to register it with the Library of Congress. So when you get those little, you content creators out there, um, when you get those little alerts that, it's a little copyright strike, they're not striking you, but they're letting you know that this is registered with the Library of Congress. So, it is okay to use it on YouTube. However, they're making note that that music doesn't belong to you. So, hey, Fresh Breezy, are you there? You're muted if you're talking.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you now. I don't know if you were talking before, but you were muted.
Oh yeah, I don't know. Something going on with this stream yards. I can't even. The camera's not working. But what's going on, my lovely?
I'm his lovely. Oh.
Always, you know that. I'm glad you finally touching on this subject though.
I know. So we're way behind. It has been covered by, a few different platforms. And, I believe that it gained a little traction after like a tweet or something, maybe about 2 months ago. And so, it took us a little while to get around to it, but I was determined that we were gonna discuss this today. So did you wanna open up the discussion on that? Are you
Okay.
still there?
I'm messing around with this camera. It won't come on. I don't know what's going on. Screen is
Oh,
just black. But go ahead.
oh, okay. Well, so basically, I don't however many of you guys were here in the beginning, I don't know if you heard me play the original M2 song Juicy Fruit, and I also played Notorious B1's version. He sampled it, and his song is called Big Daddy. He is a Mississippi-born artist, who is alleging that his version of this song, Big Daddy, was released before Notorious B.I.G.'s version in 1994. So based on the dates, he is correct. He did release his song in 1993, and Big did release Juicy in 1994. I will have to be honest, and I'll play a part of Big's version as well. There are a lot of similarities, and
Mm,
he's claiming like not only the song, but he's talking song, style, and name.
wow.
So both are Notorious B. One is Big, B-I-G, and the other one's B1 or Big One. Um, And so it's been a pretty popular topic since it dropped a couple of months ago, because he does appear to have a leg to stand on. Like, when you look at the dates, he only had one album. He was a part of the Mississippi Doughboys. Originally it was a group, and then he did a single, Big Daddy. And it's just fresh. I mean, y- you feel the same as far as the similarities?
Yeah, it is. Especially that one line from Mississippi down to the East Coast. I was like,
Right, yeah,
I
so
was like,
right, and so I think what the consensus is like, okay, now, one one, um one thing in common, that's coincidence, but
right.
we're talking I'll put it this, I don't believe the flow, I don't think he got his flow from him.
And what
I think
was the sorry, what was the nickname? Biggie's Big Papa. What was he? Big Daddy, right?
he was Big Daddy,
Big
so that's the
Daddy.
name of the song, Big Daddy, and then one of Big's monikers is Big Papa, which is another single off of the Ready to Die album.
Right.
So when you look at the timeline, you have Notorious B.I.G. didn't become Notorious B.I.G. until the release of his first album. So early 93,
Right.
he had to change it. He was named Biggie Smalls,
Mhm.
after Calvin Lockhart's character in Let's Do It Again. Lockhart didn't like it. Lockhart ain't like it. He didn't like it. He didn't like it. And so he sued him. Had to change the name. There was also another Biggie Smalls with a Z.
All right.
He was a Caucasian rapper out of the West Coast
Mhm.
who also, he didn't go. I don't believe he went after Big. However, this is funny. When Notorious dropped his album, because of the fact that Biggie Smalls was still being used, people were buying Biggie Smalls with the Z's album, thinking they were buying Notorious B.I.G. album. So it actually helped him a little bit.
Wow.
That's funny. I just thought I'd throw that in there. But yeah, so Big Daddy, Big Papa, Juicy, and Big Daddy, the flow is very similar. I mean, I have to admit, it's very similar. And I'll like I said, I'm gonna play both songs again. But what's your thoughts on that?
It's a lot to be a coincidence. So I don't know, and Puffy doesn't have the best reputation when it comes to business. So
He does not. I agree. And like, okay, so we know, and this goes back to the music industry. The music industry is has always been infamous for these kind of things.
yeah,
I always felt like, and I think most artists feel that way. That's why so many are going independent.
mm,
The way that the record labels work, it lines their pockets so much more than it does the artist.
right.
Most artists don't see real money unless they're touring and until their sophomore album, if they're lucky enough to get to a sophomore album, right?
Well, with the internet now, is they
It's
have
different,
that
right?
power in their hands now. Yep.
And then you still have to be careful with
You
that
still, yeah. That's- mm,
because like, and I want to do a show on this. I've talked to artists who had arrangements with companies like United Masters,
mhm.
where it's supposed to be all about the artist and the masters are in your control and this, and they're stealing from them. They're stealing from them. So I know someone who has personally been a victim of that. And so I really want to get him on the show so that he can really break down how this is done because we have so many young artists who just they don't want to sign with the big labels and so they think by signing up with these different services that it's a better deal and they find out that they actually are not owning their masters anymore, that United Masters has been basically stealing their royalties.
Wow.
It's crazy. It's worse than the record label, but we'll get into that um another time. So let me play a little bit of Big One's song again. I'm just gonna play a little bit of it.
What is on the place with this rhyme that I'm ripping? My sound is so rugged that it keeps the needle slipping. So hip hop parade, motherfucker, don't play with my anger. I got a full clip when it's hot in the chamber. But if you wanna chill, let's mess with a bit of booze and a honey on the left. Cause I like to keep it on the block with the fellas. I always keep my nine for the marks that be jealous. Cause niggas like to whip, they wanna see me laying slip. So like I said before, G, I smoke 'em like a slip. So here comes the man,
The Big Belly Man. He had a nice flow though. So that's Notorious B1, Big
Well,
Daddy.
well, well. You've been listening to that, huh? Somebody has a nice flow.
He
He sound
does.
like
I mean,
yeah, because it
it
sounds like
sounds like
Biggie. It
Big.
sounds like Biggie's flow. Well, Biggie flow sounds like his, one or the other. So
Well, we're gonna get into that. So let's
okay,
listen to a little bit of Juicy.
okay.
Yeah, this album is dedicated to all the teachers that told me I never amount to nothing. To all the people that lived above the buildings that I was hustling from that called the police on me when I was just trying to make some money to feed my daughter. Yeah. To all my peoples in the struggle, you know what I'm saying? It's all good, baby. Shake it. It was all a dream. I used to read Word Up magazine, Salt and Pepper and Heavy D up in the limousine, hanging pictures on my wall. Every Saturday, rap attack, Mr. Magic Molly Mall. I let my tape rock till my tape pop. Smoking weed and bamboo, sipping on private stock. Way back when I had the red and black lumberjack with the hat to match. Remember rapping Duke? The hard. You never thought that hip hop would take it this far. Now I'm in the limelight cause I rhyme tight. Time to get paid, blow up like the world trade. Born sinner, the opposite of a winner. Remember when I used to eat sardines for dinner? Peace to Raw G, Brucey B, Kid Capri. Funk Master Flex, Love Bug, Star Ski. I'm blowing up like you thought I would. Call a crib, same number, same hood. It's all good. And if you don't know, now you know.
All right. So you heard birth versions. So the people in the chat, do you hear the similarities? Like I mean, you can't deny that it's a very similar flow. I mean, I don't I hate to say it, but I really don't think he all right. I don't believe that Biggie took anything because based on what we know about when this song was delivered to Big, he didn't even want to do Juicy. He wasn't interested in sampling Juicy Fruit. He didn't want to do the song, and he for damn sure didn't want to release it as his first hit. He wanted to release, what was the other song? Oh gosh, I have to look it up.
Yeah,
But
that is true. He didn't want to do the
he didn't
Juicy
want
thing,
to
but
do
that makes sense.
he didn't want to do it at
Yeah,
all.
maybe he knew where it came from. He was like, "Come on, man. Who knows?"
Yeah, he wanted to do a completely different song.
Mm.
Machine Gun Funk.
Yeah, right. Right,
That's what, because Biggie from the streets,
right.
he wanted it to be for his Brooklyn dudes, the street dudes, and he felt like Juicy was too soft, so he didn't want to do it. But he ended up doing whatever Puff told him to do anyway. So I really believe that if anyone stole anything, what you laughing at?
The chat, Bishop. You know Brooklyn niggas are known for stealing. Come on, Lady Fresh.
Oh no! Hey, listen,
Yeah,
listen. You
but
like
I think
you
if
like that
anything,
version better than Biggie's,
I
Andre?
like
You trolling?
who me.
No, Obama,
Uh, I don't,
Grant
no,
dude.
I like Biggie's personally, but
Well, we grew up loving Biggie.
uh,
We know his music, like especially us growing up in New York, like it was big. But does this make you look a little cross-eyed a little bit at the possibility that there might be some theft there?
I mean the facts on the table is that's past a
Like,
court.
have you seen the picture? I'm
Yeah,
about to I'm
right.
about to
That's
pull
what I
the
was gonna
picture up
ask
for
you to
y'all.
show. Yeah, this is crazy.
I didn't clip the picture. I'm
You
just
didn't
gonna
put the
pull it up
picture.
on no, I'm just gonna pull it up on YouTube.
Okay.
But yeah, look at they even have very similar appearance. So check this out, y'all. So this is Notorious B1. And again, he's saying that let me see if I can make it bigger for you. So he's saying that he released his song Big Daddy before BIG. But if you look at him, they have even a similar appearance.
Well, they both is big guys.
Big guys, dark skin, they don't, not sexy, not like, even he said he was like the overweight lover. That's Heavy D joint, but
Uh,
he's like never. Like he knows he's not that dude. And that whole sexy shit, all that stuff came from Puff. That was the image Puff wanted
right.
him
Yeah,
to
because Biggie was
show.
more of a street
Right, he
dude.
was more of a street dude. So in order to sell records, which is what the record execs want you to do, right?
Right.
They gotta line their pockets. So he felt like he can market Biggie as this big
Don,
unattractive
yeah.
guy, but he's the
Right.
Don, right? He's the
Right.
Don. He's sexy with the ladies or whatever. He got street smarts.
Shit, it worked because I tell you, a lot of big guys when Biggie came out, them niggas got themselves a Coogee sweater, some shades, and a Kango. And yo, he gave a lot of them big dudes some confidence, for real, for real.
He really did, yeah.
Uh huh.
Al, I will agree that he did move forward with it, but I don't think he's the one that.
Nah, Puffy did that.
So when you think about it, right? During our time, what was the way that you got your music to record execs?
Right. Well, that was a big thing because
What did we do?
you had to find people and give them your CD or tape.
No, but before that, what were they doing before that?
What you
Mailing them
mean?
shits. They
Yeah,
were
that's what I'm
mailing
saying.
it. Yeah, they were
That's
mailing.
what I'm saying. And then you don't, no one knew about copyrighting their stuff then, so they'll take people's stuff and
Mhm.
there's countless people that had them stories. You know.
Oh yeah, many.
Uh,
Right. And the ones that I went over are after these songs became huge,
right.
that,
Right.
people were like, dang, they took, like, I saw about 3 or 4 different artists that stole from Chuck Berry.
Right. Remember they
Straight
was
stole.
K Solo was saying, well, DMX was saying K Solo stole Spellbound from him.
See,
So yeah,
and
they
then so not only did they used to always like mail their demos, they would mail their beats, they would mail everything. You don't know who's getting it.
right,
So back then in 91, 92, Puff was under Andre Harrell Uptown.
right.
So he wasn't the man yet. He was about to be the man, but he
Mm,
wasn't the man yet. So he's still busting open, mailings,
right,
coming in tapes and stuff.
right.
Who's to say that that didn't come across
Of
his desk?
course, right. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But
So
even if that ain't the case, people hear stuff. I mean, he's in the industry. Oh, is this big guy in Mississippi? You might want to check him out. Yeah, I checked him out, but I got me a big guy already. Let me see what I can get off of him. You never
mhm,
know.
it's
The
so many
music
different ways
industry,
that it
yeah,
could have
industry
it could
crazy.
have, yeah. And so
Yeah,
my
but it
thing is
definitely could
like,
have came across his desk, like you said.
yeah,
That's
it
a
could have came
fact.
across his desk. Somebody could have traveled down there or whatever. Now,
Mhm.
here's the other thing about this though. So B1 is saying that. However, if you look, Trackmasters is credited for that track.
Um,
Pete Rock is credited for the remix. But Pete Rock said that Puff took that from him. That he was actually at his house. He came downstairs and heard it playing, and the next thing he knew, it was being used. Now, he said something to him about it. They gave him the rights to the remix, but he still never received credit for the original track. So
oh,
if it came from Pete Rock, then that means Puff didn't steal it. You see what I'm saying? So
yeah,
it's like it's the similarities are there so much so that it's scary.
yeah.
But Big was out. Big's demo was 91. He was working with Puff in 92 at Uptown, but signed to Bad Boy in 93.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't drop Ready to Die until 94.
Boy,
It was 93, September of 93, when Notorious Big One dropped Big Daddy.
so what did the guy have to say about this big one? As
No
he said,
one has been able to get. So, okay, there is an article.
was he paid off to be quiet? I mean,
I don't know
this
because
is a big thing. Like
he
Biggie
just
is one of the
came
most
forward
memorable
about this.
MCs ever. So I mean, I don't know, for somebody just to be quiet about it, and they're not wrong. They really legitimately made the song first, and their character's been stolen. Like, why haven't they said anything? Was it a payment involved? I mean,
Well, okay, so according to him, he did not speak up on it back then because once he, once the song came out or whatever, it was a window actually between when the song came out and when Big died. But he's saying that out of respect for Big and Big's family, that he didn't come forward about it because he passed away. But there was like a 4-year, 3-year gap between when Biggie released Juicy and when he died.
right,
So my thing is, you had time.
right. Hmm, I don't know. I'm thinking payment involved or something, because he still hasn't said anything really to this day, right?
Not that I know of.
Yeah, that's a
And
payment.
like
That's a
people have been
payment.
trying
They
to
probably signed a, what is the NDA, or yeah, I think that's a payment, because I mean, you can't deny it, man. If he came out with that song first, they definitely took it from that man. And Mississippi down to the East Coast, that's just like you told him yourself with that shit. That's crazy. Out of every state, he said Mississippi, and you just so happen to
right. And
sound
it
like
just
this
so
guy.
happened. It
The
just so
same beat
happened.
and everything. That shit is, that's, yeah.
Hey Naomi, salute, salute. Thank you for
Naomi, what
stopping
up, sis?
by.
Yeah, so.
Al, salute. Are you still on vacation, Al?
Oh
Because
yeah,
I'm
Al
about
was
to
on
be feeling
vacation for
real
real.
special if you
I'm
still
jealous
on
of
a
you, Al.
cruise
Come on, man.
and
I need
you
a
listening to
vacation,
the
baby.
fresh perspective. I'm about to be feeling real good about myself because that means you took the time out to stop by and check on Lady Fresh. I was trying to find, and you know what? It's so funny because I said I was going to pull his statement. And this is like around July, the end of July, when this started getting a lot of traction about this story.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on with my camera.
Did you turn it on?
Got my Fresh Perspective shirt on and everything.
I know he got on his Fresh Perspective merchandise. That's what I'm talking about.
Let me see if I can go back and come back in.
Ladies and gentlemen, please,
try to come-
you can take a couple seconds. Okay. Take a couple seconds to go back out and hit that like button for your girl. I'm really trying to get my numbers up and trying to get my subs up to 500. I got some work to do. My goal is to have it done by the end of the year. So I got some work to do. I got some great shows lined up, and my goal is to get to 500 because I really want to get that poll up, so I can do polls and get more insight from you guys about the type of content that you want to see. Also, I'm gonna post my Cash App, #, I am Lady Fresh. I was working hard doing research on this story, even though this was supposed to be Fresh's story. So he actually was supposed to come with all the facts. But I made sure I came prepared because he don't be prepared. Look, he can't even get his camera on. Let me stop talking crap because he probably can hear me. But yeah, what do you guys think about some of the stuff that we went over? I mean, the information is there. It's not a lot of information about Notorious B1. They were pretty close to the same age. He was a part of the Mississippi Doughboys out of Gulfport. And he released Big Daddy, which was his one and only release. I think he had about 4 joints on there. So, and they weren't bad. Like, honestly, I feel like if he would have got a little bit of play, because of how similar it sounds to Biggie, if he would have been able to, if he wasn't in Mississippi, if he would have been able to get on, larger platforms, he probably would have done better than what he did. But being in Mississippi back in the 90s, they did release the music to radio stations, so they were played locally. They were also in stores apparently in Mississippi as well. So they just didn't cross that threshold to make it on a national level. However, we all know that Biggie sold millions. Juicy, I believe, is his biggest record. So Puff did know exactly what he was doing by having that be his first release. But yeah, the similarities to me are so crazy. I'm gonna play a little bit more of Biggie's Juicy while we waiting for Fresh to come back up. And then a little bit more of B1's, just so y'all can hear the similarities again. Okay.
I made this change from a common thief to up close and personal with Robin Leach. And I'm far from cheap. I smoke skunk with my peeps all day. Spread love, it's the Brooklyn way. The Moet and Alizé keep me pissy. Girls used to diss me. Now they write letters cause they miss me. I never thought it could happen, this rapping stuff. I was too used to packing ice and stuff. Now honeys play me close like butter play coke. From the Mississippi down to the East Coast, condos in Queens, in dough for weeks. Sold out seats to hear Biggie Small speak. Living life without fear, putting 5 carats in my baby girl ear. Lunches, brunches, interviews by the fool. Considered a fool cause I dropped out of high school. Stereotypes of a black male misunderstood. And it's still all good, And if you don't know, now you know.
There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. That was Notorious B1 was the second one that we played, and the first one, of course, was um the Notorious B.I.G. Their names are even similar, like similar names, and then similar flow, similar song. I mean, I don't know. I just feel like the coincidence there is a bit strong.
Get your hand out my pocket.
The hell wrong with you?
That's what he should have been saying to Puffy. Shit. That is definitely something wrong.
So I'm wondering if let me take the banner off. So I'm curious as to whether or not he properly copyrighted. And it's public, so I guess I could always look it up. Did you get your camera fixed?
Hey.
Hey, fresh breezy. I like that shirt you got on. Show the people. It's the fresh perspective. Ow.
Yeah, but he definitely they definitely robbed that boy. I believe, like I said, I believe they paid him.
You believe it?
Yeah, they're not talking. He's not talking about it. So
For all these years, because like
that money,
it has been a long time. So, I'm wondering like if there was an NDA, did it expire?
man.
Because even if even let's say we give him the fact that he was just trying to be respectful of Big's passing. Let's say we give him that. Even though it was 3 years from the release to when he died, let's say we give him that. If you waited 3, 4, 5 years, it's been almost 20 years.
Yeah, but I mean, think about it. What if Puffy offered this say, for instance? I mean, because it's no doubt.
Well, I'm talking about if none of that was on the table. I'm just saying he said nothing all this time.
I
That's
mean,
crazy.
maybe he gave him $1 million. Shit, $1 million back then. That's a lot of
No, I
money.
was saying if he didn't get any of that,
If he didn't, oh nah,
like what
I
would
don't
be
believe
the
that.
reason
Hell
that
no,
you said
hell no,
nothing all this time? He said he
hell
didn't.
no.
He said
That
he didn't want no. It was
man,
he
that
wanted
record
no
alone is probably, I don't know. It's probably close to platinum. Who knows? Diamond or whatever.
diamond.
Right, it got to be.
That's his biggest
Uh,
record.
right, that's what I'm saying. I mean, you didn't say anything. Come on
Even
now.
though that's not my favorite biggest song, but
What's your favorite? Big Papa.
probably Big Papa.
Hey, you remember our friend? She what was the lyric she was saying to Big Papa that was wrong? It was hilarious.
Oh, I can't remember. Oh, I love it when you call me Biggie Pop. Shout out to my girl Carla.
Yeah.
That's my designated white friend. Ew. Yeah, I love it when you call me Biggie Pop. But I said,
Papa.
excuse me, what'd you say?
That was
And
him.
then repeated it.
Yeah, and she was dead serious. She's like, no, that's what he's
Like,
saying.
yeah,
We fell out.
I was like, okay. I didn't even, you know, I let the other people Google. Let me see what you guys said on the poll. I dropped my first poll. Do you think Big and Puff stole from B1? 83% said yes, 17% said no.
Wow.
So for the 17% that said no, what do you think happened? Do you believe it's all coincidence? Because it's possible. I mean, stranger things have happened.
Yeah, that's a fact.
There are plenty of, coincidences. I mean, listen, some people just have certain type of creative flow. You know what I mean? I personally think the record is decent. Like, I feel like had he put it out first and had the proper backing, it's a dope beat to rap over. They did it. It wasn't trash. It wasn't terrible. He's talking about a lot of the same stuff, just from a different perspective as a Southern boy versus a up north one.
Hmm.
So they both talking about growing up.
And where was he
They got
from? Gulf, Mississippi, right? Gulfport.
Gulfport, Mississippi.
Gulfport, right?
Salute, Rich Martinez. Salute. Thanks for stopping by.
Rich. Yeah, I would like to hear someone that voted that he didn't steal their perspective on that. I would really like to hear that.
I'm gonna drop the link if
It's so
anybody wanted
similar.
to tap in on this topic. I'm not at all, completely I mean, I researched it as much as what was given because it's not a whole lot about it. It was kind of like a big thing for a few weeks, and then you didn't really see a whole lot. But it was definitely something worth listening to because Fresh
What?
was like Fresh was all excited. He was like, yo, yo, did you hear this? Did you see this? That whole thing about Biggie? I'm like, dude,
But
relax.
it would have been a bigger story if he would have came out and spoke on it. But like I say, he had to sign something for him not to speak out about it.
Well, he did. He did. It was a written statement.
No, I'm not talking. I mean, these days, I mean, come on. And I remember when we first started talking about it, I tried to find him on Instagram and I couldn't. Did you
Mhm.
ever find him?
Can't find him on Instagram.
Can't find him
Can't
on
find
anything.
nothing.
Yeah. So I hope he had that money work out from that puppy gave him. Cause it ain't no way. That shit sound exactly like our Biggie. So
Our Biggie. Our Notorious, you mean?
right.
Because he wasn't Biggie. He was Notorious.
It would have been crazy if they would have did a collaboration song. The Battles of the Notorious Biggies or some shit.
I mean, their name is the
I
same.
know
They
that's
like
crazy. From the Mississippi down to the East Coast. I was like, God damn it. I fuck with Biggie. I was like, man. But what you said made sense. What you said made sense. Maybe it came
so.
across Puffy's desk. I mean,
This
it
is the
definitely.
statement. I wrote the song to the actual record, and it was called Big Daddy. No, let me go back. Let me go back because I want to read the whole thing. I'm gonna put this. I'm gonna go off camera for a second. All right. In 1993, I was signed to a small record label called Dragon Records in Gulfport, Mississippi. I had a song that I wrote to Mtume's Juicy Fruit. I wrote the song to the actual record and it was called Big Daddy. Big Daddy was the lead single off the Mississippi Doughboys album that was released September of 1993. It was released on the same day as Snoop Dogg's first album, Doggy Style. The Doughboys album was made by two Gulfport rappers. I don't know how you say his name. Um, Tilladai and myself, the Notorious Big One or Notorious B1. Yeah, I had the name and song first. I know it might be hard to believe, but it's 100% the truth. We was on the radio first and in stores first. We sent packages to all the major labels. Now, mind you, he said they
Mm,
sent packages to all
mm,
the major
mm.
labels. He didn't just say,
Uptown is
I'm
a
just
major
right.
label.
Uptown is a major label. And he said they were shopping for distribution.
And who
Just
was in charge
imagine
of that department in
that's
Uptown?
something
Puffy,
Puff
right?
would be doing. That's something he would be doing.
Right,
If
exactly.
he wasn't tearing them open himself,
Right.
his assistant was. But he was in charge of entertainment, of talent. So it said, just imagine my surprise when people started calling me saying they've just seen my video. And they probably did think it was him because they both big,
Mhm.
black, ugly as ever. However, you know, right?
Cakes. Yeah.
We was trying to get the truth out back then, but after Big's death, I decided to leave it alone out of respect. I'm not fat anymore, and a lot has changed. But before I leave this bitch, I want everybody to know the truth. I was the original Notorious Big One.
Wow.
Mic drop.
Yeah.
So that was his official statement. And I believe it was when this statement came out, is when Twitter and Black Twitter got a hold of it, and that was all she wrote. Content creators went crazy, and we were behind.
And what was the date
Harlem
of
Girl
that
Salute.
statement? Right, quick again.
I don't have the date on that one. This is posted on somebody's site.
Okay.
There's no so this is back on July 25th. So I will say this. I started seeing the dates of all of this stuff are all around July 25th.
Okay.
July 25th, July 22nd, going into August is when you start seeing people talking about it. So the statement must have been made sometime in late July.
Okay. Put up Rich Martinez' last comment.
Yeah, I was just getting ready to. Yes, facts. Yeah, I mean, and that's what I was saying. That is the name of the game. Okay. Especially back then when there wasn't a lot of options to be independent. If you wanted your music out there, you needed a distributor. I mean, you could have your street teams handing out CDs and everything, but you were gonna be pretty much um like you were only going to be pretty local, unless you drove out of town and you did. But as far as getting your music out to the masses, you
Right.
had to have a record label
Right.
behind you. And some artists have several record labels behind them.
And like you said,
They might
that
have a
street team did
distribution.
everything.
Yeah, they might have a
Yeah.
distribution arrangement with one record label, but have management with another. So like it was the game is still to this day, it's a filthy game that is designed to line the pockets of the execs. The artist is the bottom of the barrel. Um, I think I learned a little bit about that watching one of TLC's documentaries when they talked about how they went bankrupt. They did those girls dirty. And they broke down. That's why you want your writer's credit because that's where your money's coming in. The writer's credit. So that's why a lot of people go after people for copyright infringement because that's where the money is in the writer's credit. And so if you're not getting the credit for that, then it's like you stole my shit and you're not giving me credit for it. So yeah. So that's why Robin Thicke is paying 50% of royalties, 50% royalties and 7.4 million on Blurred Lines. Happy was the biggest song of 2017, I believe. Biggest song. He better hope Nona Gay don't be playing. See, she yeah, she don't be playing. That's Marvin Gaye's daughter. And she don't play. You're muted.
I was saying, didn't Ti slither out of that lawsuit somehow?
Which
Because I
one?
know he was involved. They tried to include him in it.
Well, I
The
mean, he was
Robin
a
Thicke
featured
thing.
artist, but
Right.
Pharrell
And
and
I think
Robin,
that's what he said. I was just a feature
yeah,
artist.
and
Right.
his part was rapped.
Right.
Robin Thicke said, and I quote, I drew inspiration from the song. Brother. And listen, there are a lot of songs that sound similar and they don't have to get copied. Like
Yeah.
it is a certain level of what you can take and how much it sounds alike because there's a difference between inspiration and plagiarism.
But my thing is, you're making all this money. Pay the people and do it properly. I mean, what's the problem?
I got a couple other people. So we were just talking. I don't think Kels is in here anymore. But over on ATG's channel yesterday, we were just talking about Michael Bolton. Michael Bolton, Love is a Wonderful Thing. He stole that song from the Isley Brothers, and it was called Love is a Wonderful Thing. So not only did he steal the music, the title's the same. Michael Bolton tried to say, "Nah, that's not true." he was ordered to pay $5.4 million, tried to appeal it, and they said no.
Mm.
His career never recovered from that. So when that's what marked the change in Michael Bolton's career. And I ain't gonna lie, I used to like his music. Okay,
Yeah, I like Michael
I like
Bolton.
Michael Bolton.
Back in the 80s, late 80s.
Mhm. So yeah, I mean, there's a lot of Sam Smith. Stay with me. He stole
Oh,
that from
yeah.
Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers.
Right.
I won't back down. He stole that song. He tried to act like he ain't do nothing. He ended up having to give them credit as writers on it, which is money.
So is it a reason why they don't go about it the right way?
That's a
I
good
mean, it'd
question.
probably save them a lot of heartache and money and stuff.
I don't know if it's like if they doubt how well a song will do or what, but if you do it ahead of time, you're way less likely to pay a lot of money. Like you'll pay way less money because you usually will have to pay, you give them the credit,
Right.
you pay a certain amount. But if you end up having to go to court and then you got to give Pat back royalties
It's
and
the same thing with child support. I'll be telling dudes, go put yourself on child support. Don't wait for her to do it. You
yeah,
save
that,
yourself a
that
lot of
Robin Thicke
heartbreak
one
and
was a
money.
big one, and then now what you're seeing is like what Puff did was he stole that song for his artist. You know what I mean? He
Yeah.
stole it for his artist, but now the record execs they just stealing from the artist. Period. They artists. They don't care. They just steal from the artist.
Yeah, put an insurance policy on them and
Yes,
hope
Vanilla
the
Ice.
daughter get killed.
Yes, Vanilla Ice, Ice, baby. It was settled out of court, but they shook his ass real good because he thought he was gonna end up having to pay a whole lot of money. So they settled out of court. He stole from actually from Queen and David Bowie. David
Mm.
Bowie under
Wow.
pressure. Yep. So that was another big one. So a lot of them got settled out of court, but like the big ones like that Robin Thicke and that Bruno Mars, those were two really big ones that they had to go to court.
Bruno Mars, which one was that?
Oh, I didn't say that one earlier. I thought I did.
I might have missed it. My
I,
phone went out.
so Bruno Mars and Mark Ranson, Uptown Funk. They took that from the Gap Band. They filed a copyright claim saying that it was similar to their song "Oops Upside Your Head."
Mm.
And so after they filed the claim, it was a long fight too. It was a long fight. They just settled that not too long ago, and they received 17% of shares to the song.
Wow.
So,
Wow.
like, this shit ain't no joke. You need to do your due diligence before you start sampling people's stuff. And then you need to work with somebody who knows like how similar it can be, because there are plenty of songs that might have minor undertones that are like, you know what I mean? But if you put on a song and it sounds like the exact same song and you didn't get permission,
Mhm.
you can get in some serious trouble. So, word to the wise.
So
Make sure you register with the Library of Congress when you make music. That's what all these YouTube people are doing. They're registering the music, and that's why you'll get that little thing that be like, "This is copyrighted."
who's the most sampled artist?
I feel
Who do
like
you think off the top of your head?
I feel like I just looked that up.
I'm gonna say James Brown probably.
I
I
do
mean
know that.
hip hop.
I do know that.
Most sample
They
artist.
were. They are. They're up there.
Mm.
Let's look it up, shall we?
Yeah, look it up. Most sampled artists by hip hop artists. I'm thinking James Brown.
I don't know. So, did anybody have any insight on this before we move on? Because this is not going to be a long show. Gonna drop a lean. Drunk Uncles Podcast. Salute. I don't know if I put this in here right. Most sampled artists. I was just on this site. Yeah, you looked that up. You ain't
I
know
swear
that.
I didn't. Nah,
Yes, you did.
nah.
Yes, you did.
I mean,
Nah, you
especially
are
like in the
old though. You
'90s and
are
the
old.
'80s, hip hop, earlier hip hop, everybody sampled James Brown. Everything was James Brown. Everything. So I figured
He
it had to be
and
James
he's like
Brown.
significantly far
I
ahead.
bet. I bet.
8,502 times.
Wow.
Followed by someone called the Winstons,
Never heard of
Lynn
that.
Collins, Public Enemy,
Public Enemy. Wow. Okay.
Run DMC,
Okay.
the Notorious B.I.G., Michael Jackson, and Cool in the Gang.
Biggie
Top 10.
over Michael Jackson. Okay.
Only
I
by
guess he was the.
like
I guess
only
he
by
is the
like
real
50.
notorious big, huh? Shit,
I
that's
mean, he
big
came
name,
out first.
Michael Jackson.
How?
Yeah,
Big
brother
Al.
Al, what
Hey,
up, bro?
How's your
salute.
vacation?
Ending as we speak. Pulling in. I got to go to work right there. I'm here at work. We just pulling in just now.
Okay, where
How
you at?
y'all doing?
Like coming back?
Yeah,
We
we
good.
coming back.
Good.
See the ship?
Oh, you on here with that? Okay.
Yeah, I'm still. Yeah, I'm still. We just now pulling in. The ship just pulled in. We got screwed, man. When I tell you that, who ever heard of a damn boat pulling in at 6 o'clock at night?
I was getting ready to
That is
ask
so
you. That's what I was
crazy.
like,
Yeah,
they
wow.
usually get in at like 9 in the morning.
Wait, hold up, man. These dudes screwed me so tough. I had 6 tickets to the damn Rams game. For me, my dad, my son, my
This
best friend, we all go. We 6 tickets in the fourth row, and these bastards gonna change on us and talk about 5 o'clock. They didn't say nothing about that shit. $1,000 down the goddamn drain.
oh
No
yeah.
one
Wow.
else wanted to watch the Rams and Carolina Panthers but me and my
I
folks.
would have told you
I couldn't get
never
a damn tickets
plan.
away.
Yeah, never plan
Damn.
anything on the day that your cruise ports. And what
Wow.
time was the
Man,
game?
they screwed me. We supposed to be jumping back on. So one, we supposed to get back at 11. I mean at 8. Jump off here by 11. Run home. You know the game right by the house. So it would have been cool.
Mm,
But man, they screwed us
man,
over royally, man.
wow.
And then I couldn't even get the tickets away. I had a bunch of people that was trying to like get the tickets and just couldn't give them away. But anyway, I think that that was great. You were very prepared on your topic today, Lady Fresh. You had
Oh,
the
thank
history down, the
you.
research. I say it. Get your
Well,
money, sis. And I think it's George Clinton. George Clinton has sampled a whole lot. Him in Parliament, that whole
Yeah,
P
that's
Funk. That's
yeah.
who really,
oh yeah, let's see where
yeah.
they fall on the list. They didn't come in the top 10, but
They didn't? Oh my gosh.
hmm,
Right.
I'm
That's
surprised. And y'all see me on 5150 down to the socks up in here.
hey, 5150.
Yeah,
You know, I fuck with
showing off on the
5150.
boat. Yeah, 50, 50, boy. All the way down. I got my hat up in this. Y'all know I got a 2-3 hat. Yeah. But it's all good. Thank you, Lady Fresh. I just wanted to hit you before I got off the boat and let you know I was on the
I am
boat listening to
so
you as we
sorry
pulled in.
about your game. I'm
Yeah.
sorry. I hope that you at least had a
It's
wonderful
all good.
time on your trip.
So what you feel about this Biggie
Oh,
stuff real
yeah.
quick,
Yeah, yeah.
before you bounce out?
Biggie, it sounded like Biggie stole that, but we're going to put it on Puff because, Puff, he steal it from everybody. And I don't think dude got paid by Puff. That's for sure, because Puff don't pay nobody.
Nobody, right?
It ain't 2 or 3 dudes talking about got
Especially
paid by
back
Puff.
then, he had to
Yeah,
like that to be fair.
Oh no.
yeah.
Oh,
Oh,
Funkadelic, they're number 27 at
wow, really?
1,180.
27.
Get the hell, get the out of here.
It's still a
What?
lot of
Wow.
What about
singles.
George Clinton? Period.
Okay.
What about just
And most
George
of that
Clinton?
shit
What does it say
probably
about
came from.
George Clinton?
I didn't see him. Not by itself. He might be further down.
What? Atomic Dog ain't up there? The dog himself? Wow.
I mean, I just haven't gone through all the
Mm.
pages. It's a lot of pages.
Oh, I got you.
And so they only got like 10 per page. They got African Bambaataa on here though.
Oh
800
Lord, here we go.
kilograms.
Hey, I'm not gonna keep y'all. Hey, Fresh, when we gonna get us some drunk uncles in this week, man? Because I've been drunk all week, man. It's been crazy. So I got all kind of complaints to do. I ain't gonna throw my complaints down on Lady Fresh.
Nah, I got you. I don't know. I might have to. I've been
Hey,
I've been working on something in the background. Might have to address one of these young whippersnappers
oh,
and their
okay.
unfortunate ways. So
Oh
I'll
Lord
let you
have
know.
mercy.
I'll holler at you behind the
Oh, you
scenes,
know if you
bro.
need some help.
Oh yeah, I got
He
you.
Okay,
don't
well, you
need
know if
no
you need some
damn
help,
help. He don't
rat
need
packing somebody,
Yeah,
rat
I know
packing
you like.
somebody over the internet. I'm down with you, dog.
Yeah, I know Coach Al, Uncle Al, like to get out them spankings, so I got you, bro. I'm gonna holler at you.
Baby, but you see it, you know I'm 51. Hey, chat room goon, baby. I'm a chat room goon.
I
Let you
hear
know
you.
off the rip, baby.
I'm scared of that
All
though,
right,
man.
salute to both of y'all.
Bye, Al. Let me put my email up here. If you guys have any content that you would like to see, if you have suggestions for anything, please don't hesitate to send me an email at thefreshperspective22@gmail.com. That's also where you send your Ask Fresh questions. We still owe you guys an Ask Fresh episode. Maybe we'll get one of those in this week.
Yeah, got that Wi-Fi situation figured out. We got like
I had to
15
figure that shit out.
Wi-Fi's now.
It's yeah, this is
This is
stressful. I don't.
ridiculous. We got like 100
We got like
Wi-Fi's.
two different Wi-Fi services in the house.
No, it's like
It's
three
and
and
it's
a
yeah,
half.
not three and a half. Well, if you count phone data and all that kind of stuff. Yep. So there's the email. You can also follow me on IG and TikTok at I am underscore Lady Fresh. And I'll put my cash app back up there again. If you guys feel like how Big Al felt if I came prepared because Fresh wasn't. No, I'm just playing.
At all.
I know. Are you proud of me though?
Always. No, I'm not surprised, no. No, I'm definitely surprised, but good
Heaven
job.
salute. Thank you for stopping by. Hope you and the babies are doing well tonight. Um, Heaven, I was just mentioning Michael Bolton. We were talking about Michael Bolton on ATG show yesterday. And I was saying that he got hit with copyright infringement for stealing music from, I believe it was the Isley brothers. I think that's who I said it was, the Isley brothers. So this copyright infringement and stealing music, this is not new. This has all been happening for many, many, many years. I'm going to check the poll again. So we got a little bit of a shift here now. The question was, do you think Big and Puff stole from B1? The poll now says 60% say yes and 40% say no. So we're a little bit closer in percentage there
Okay.
compared to a little earlier.
Hey,
Um,
wasn't that Michael Bolton that sang in We Are the World?
yeah, he was one of
Yeah, he
them.
killed it, yeah, because it was on the other day when I was at work. I was like, okay, Mike. Yeah, that We Are the World, that was a fire song back then.
Yes. All right. So did you hear the clip that I played earlier of Kim K?
No, I probably missed that.
Okay, I'm gonna play it again. I'm gonna throw
Yep.
this up real quick and I'm gonna play this clip. So, just to give you a little background on this clip, your girl got caught slipping. And it's so much that can be said about this clip, not only about her and what was said, but just the fact that someone still has it and the way that it was brought out. So
Uh,
apparently, I mean, you guys are familiar with Candace Owens. Um, she is a very conservative activist.
yeah,
Um,
some people call her a coon, but yeah, go ahead.
yeah, she's very conservative. And she just recently leaked an audio of Kim Kardashian of an old voicemail message that she left on Ray J's answering service or voicemail. And she was saying some very disparaging things
How did she get that from?
about we're gonna get into that. about Whitney Houston, calling her crackhead. Like it was a mess. Candace Owens claims that it was dropped into her lap. It came across her desk. But we do know that Candace Owens has been hanging out with Kanye lately. She's actually pictured with him with the White Lives Matter shirts. Him and her were at the London Fashion Week where they had those shirts on. And of course, all last week and the week before, that was all we heard about. So we all know that her allegiance is to Kanye. So, given the fact that they have been spending more time together lately, as far as with the White Lives Matter, which is basically to shut down the Black Lives Matter movement, people are saying that they think it's a play on her part, that she obtained this audio from Kanye himself and she leaked it, that it didn't come from Ray J's camp. So that's what they're trying to say, is that it came from Ray J's camp. But I don't know what I think about it. But I'm gonna play the audio for you again.
Ray, it's Kim. I just want you to know that I think you are so disgusting and desperate. Who leaves their email address on their machine? You clearly want people to call you, but yet you won't call me back. And actually, you know what? Don't call me back. Don't ever call me back. I never want to talk to you ever again. I think you're honestly a sick human being, and I think you are just so desperate that you'll do anything for attention, and you're just so disgusting. Honestly, so, have fun with old hag Whitney Houston. She's so sick, and, crack is definitely not whack with you guys, because you are just, honestly, makes me laugh on how disgusting you guys look. You're in Vegas with Whitney, and you need to go hang out with your old, friend, and it's not right, but it's okay. I'm definitely going to make it anyway, because you guys are just disgusting and sick, and stop you're with her. I don't understand it. She's so old and sick, and you are just sick and desperate, so leave me the alone and stop calling me. I hate you!
That bitch is unstable. Now, mind you, this is from back in 2010 or so. Back, shortly after they were dealing with one another. We know that he began seeing Whitney.
So who is she with? Chris Humphries or the other dude? Then
I don't know who she was with at the time.
Right.
But the crazy thing is, now you hear her saying all these disparaging things about Whitney Houston.
Right.
Talk about the crack is not whack between you guys, and girl, really? I thought it was really disrespectful.
I mean, do you expect anything less than from her?
She sound crazy. She sound crazy. But who holds on to this shit?
I'm not surprised.
So Candace Owens played this on her podcast the other day. And when she played it, she stated that it was given to her by Ray J's camp, that it fell into her lap. But there are a lot of people on social media who believe that, given the fact that Kim and Kanye have been really going at each other, that it was possible that Kanye gave Candace this tape, this recording. What do you think?
I don't know for a minute, but of course he did. I mean, of course he did. What's wrong with him? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I heard you. What'd you say?
Yeah, of course he did.
Well, we know he bugged out.
Well, wow, I don't know. People, I don't know. They think different these days. What are you getting out of that? They put
I don't
more negative news on his child's
right.
his kid's mother. Like, well, people don't think. I don't understand, man.
So they're trying to say that Kim was reacting like this because Ray J, this was, she became popular and was gaining more notoriety at the time because of the sex tape, right?
Right.
So at the time, he was hanging out with Whitney, getting a lot of attention. They were saying that she was behaving this way because allegedly she felt like he was getting more attention than her, more popular than her, and she was upset. But I'm like, how crazy do you have to be to behave that way?
Hey, and what's that? How that song with Cardi B and her husband? Anything for clout? Anything for clout. And that was the beginning of that clout shit. There's no other reason.
And
It
then
still has right quick.
what reason does Ray J have to leak this? I'm
Yo,
gonna
they
ask
throw
him.
dirt. They be throwing dirt on Ray J. I don't think he's that type of dude. Like how everybody make him out to be. I don't think he's like that much of a scumbag. But
Probably not anymore.
yeah, Kim
He was
Kardashian,
kind of
son,
bad.
she's different and Kanye different. Like it's crazy.
It's sad.
And then Candace Owens, we already know who she about. So uh,
Yeah, well, I don't think she's a big fan. She said she put it out there because she wanted to show that Kim Kardashian is not who she's portraying herself to be today. She's not a
duh,
nice girl. She's not a nice girl.
duh.
She's not, um she's not who she pretends to be. And Candace's concern is these celebrities have the ability to convince, you know, our younger generation to do certain things. And she
So
used the
like
example of if Kim Kardashian says, "Oh, just go out and vote for Hillary Clinton," that they're going to do it. So she needed to expose her. But it's just coincidence. Is it just coincidence
right.
that you
I
just
know where
finished
you
all that
going.
stuff with Ye?
Right.
It's just
Exactly. What the
I
hell?
don't know. These people are crazy.
You know what? You know I'm not the biggest. I don't care for the Kardashians at all, but she's probably a better look than Kanye right now. So I don't know.
Probably.
Kanye,
Maybe
wow.
that's why he did it. Maybe he did it to take some of the attention off of him for what he's been in the media for lately. Because he's been in the media a lot lately because his behavior, he is a
But
nutcase. I don't care
this
what
is
nobody says.
coming from a man that loves his kids, so-called love his kids. Why are you doing that? That's I don't
But
know.
see, I will say he has no problem doing that. Even if he didn't do this, he doesn't have a problem talking crazy about her. He doesn't have a problem doing it.
Right, but you have kids with her.
So
That's
I
my
think
point. Like,
so
how
this
you
is
say one thing and do another? That's crazy to me.
so this right here is
Them kids at the age
the
they hear
main
stuff.
reason. This is the main reason that people are pissed off with Kim. So this voicemail was somewhere just before 2011 when Whitney passed away. Kim Kardashian, they brought up her tweet from February 11th, 2012 when Whitney passed away. And it says, "Just heard the tragic news that Whitney Houston passed away. I pray for her daughter and loved ones. We will always love you, Whitney. But you just sent the message saying the crack is whack." And then she like made fun of one of the songs that she one of the songs, like she quoted one of the songs, and like it was hella disrespectful. So then you turn around and send that tweet. So it's really fake. People were pissed. They were pissed. It was like you said all that about that lady, and then turned around and was like, "We'll always love you, Whitney."
Yeah, out of respect, she shouldn't have said anything.
Right.
People say you say stuff when you're upset, but you got to live with that shit. So now you ain't really feel that way. So now you look crazy. Talking about we miss you because what you said that you don't even mean it. It's whatever. She messy anyway. Them Kardashians, all them motherfuckers is messy. But I don't know about uh, it.
They all messy.
It's just messed up that the girl put that out on her now. That's kind of low. But
That's what I'm saying. I'm like, when you look at where it could have possibly come from,
right.
there's no reason for Ray J to. He has no reason. But he's pissed off now. I do know that. He's upset now, and like he's like even considering legal taking, some legal steps against the Kardashians because he's like over it. But yeah, so I just wanted to touch on that because I just thought it was kind of disgusting that it was even said, and I don't even get like you said, why is it coming out now? What is the point? Kanye has more of a reason to put that out than Ray J does. So if you guys have any thoughts on that, feel free to pop up. I'm gonna look and see what the poll says. So the question was, did Ray J's camp leak this? 33% say yes, 67% say no, and no one said no, Kanye leaked it through Kansas. I'm gonna end that poll. Yep. So, did you have anything else to add?
No, like I said, I definitely think Puffy has something to do with that. Because, like you said, everything makes sense. I forgot Biggie really didn't want to do that song.
Yeah, they even
Maybe,
showed it
yeah,
in the movie. He was like, "Man, that's
right.
why I don't want to
Maybe
do that."
Puffy came up with the cut and told him where it came from. And Big was like, hell no.
He wanted he
So,
wanted a hardcore first
and I, yeah,
single.
and I also believe the dude was paid because it ain't no way. It ain't no way. I mean, how long ago that came out? 20 years ago? Big been dead, what, how long? Over
Since
15?
97.
Like, that's what I'm saying. It's like, he would have came out, like, even just to say it. And he never said anything.
Right.
So,
And
he
there was
got some
plenty
money.
of reasons to come forward. I mean, like, look at how
And I don't
many
even know no hater shit.
documentaries,
Yeah, ain't
like,
nobody
look
gonna
how
look
many
at you a hater.
documentaries came out. Look how many, but people are looking at him like that anyway,
I wouldn't. I
just
don't.
because of their allegiance to Biggie. But
Yeah.
people who are truly objective, like you and I,
I
and some
mean,
other
and the
people.
proof is in the pudding. That shit sound too alike. It's like, mhm.
Coach Love, is that you? I'm gonna put a banner up. You're gonna have to open your camera. I have people who like to porn bomb. It disappeared. That's not even your picture. Coach Love is in the chat. Coach Love, was that you? I think somebody's pretending to be
They
you.
try to get you.
Oh no, I'm on it now. I'm on it now. Well,
Uh,
since I got this banner up right here, please join us on October 27th for a special episode of The Fresh Perspective. I'll be sitting down with Miss Parker and Miss Katrina, and they will be talking to us about their breast cancer journey. This is Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and we'll be highlighting it at the end of the month, discussing. There she is. That's my coach, Love. Okay.
Yes,
You
now
know,
hold on one
I
second.
had to make sure it was you. So yes, please make
Yes,
sure you tune
ma'am,
in.
it's me.
Okay, I'm gonna bring you up on the screen in just a second. Um, Make sure you tune in
Okay,
on
sounds
October
good.
27th for the breast cancer awareness. Again, I'll be sitting down with Miss Parker. Miss Parker. Make sure you tune in to her show as well. If one of my mods are in the chat, if you could drop her link. She has very great content. She even got like these little skits she be doing. It's pretty cool. She sent me one yesterday, so I went back and started watching the whole thing. I think they're up to like 8 parts now, so it's pretty cool. Um, so make sure you check Miss Parker out, and I'll be interviewing Miss Katrina. I met her through Instagram, and her story just really moved me. So I invited her to do the show. So I'm looking forward to that. Also, on next Saturday, which is October 22nd, we'll be sitting down with the Trill King himself, Mr. Buddy Lee. I'm super excited for this one as well. It is his first interview, and I am so pleased that he chose to sit down with Lady Fresh and the Fresh Perspective and do his very first interview. So you guys make sure that you are tuned in for that next Saturday. Coach Love.
Hello, I am honored to be here. Thank you for having me. The Fresh Perspective is always fresh with Lady Fresh and the Drunk Uncles.
Well, I'm so happy to have you here.
Hey, Coach
And
Love.
big up. Hi, look, how you doing, Mr. Fresh?
I'm good. How you doing, sis?
I'm sorry, thank you. But my thought process is the only person is truly winning in this Kim Kardashian situation is Candace Owens.
Mhm.
Because everybody in there is a billionaire but her.
That's true.
So she's just I don't know. She's just out here doing whatever. It fell in her lap. Where did it come from? The message was left on Ray J's voicemail. So regardless, he gave it to somebody who gave it to her.
Gave it to somebody.
Because
That is no, you're right.
yeah. So he is the authentic source for that because you know doggone well that Kim Kardashian didn't record herself.
Yeah, that makes sense.
That is true.
What's wrong with people? That's just too much stuff. It's
You
too
know.
much.
Now,
It's like you holding it with the
And
hopes of
this grown damn men
exposing
doing it.
somebody.
It's crazy.
listen, that was in the same place Monica Lewinsky's dress was, and she just ripped it out the freezer.
Oh my.
Yes, that is true. You came up here and put some stuff in perspective for us.
Shoot, I'm just saying. That's what happened with all of that. And at the end of the day, I'm not a true Kim Kardashian fan, but I do know this. That woman is walking around uh, getting people out of jail, and that's making a real difference on everybody else's, on other people's lives, and she's not really getting anything out of that. She went in there with the lion, the beast, you know, President Cheeto himself, and she pulled somebody up out of jail. So when
She
you are
sure
working,
did.
yes, when you are working with that level of power, you might have a personality that gets a little dirty. And personally, I just think that she sound like somebody that's jealous and hurt on that answer
Yeah.
machine, and she probably meant it in that moment in her full tequila stage. She probably meant it then because this man that she didn't been sexing or whatever might have not been love, but it might have been sexing. And how you gonna leave me with all this body yada yada for this stick figure? All respect to Whitney, but she wasn't a body girl. She was you know an older woman with itty bitty tea committee, and Kim paid for her body.
Yeah. Well, that should show you something. He ain't want it.
Right.
He ain't
And
want it no more.
everybody has their insecurities, and obviously Kim's insecurity is her body. That's why you pay so much for it. And once you make that kind of investment and someone doesn't appreciate your investment, it bothers you. So I really don't think she meant anything against Whitney. I think it was all about her rage for Ray J, it being, kind of thrown to the side after she put herself out there.
I agree with you.
Well, that's a
I
good
agree with that.
perspective on it.
And you're right about that Kim Kardashian. I do respect her for the things that she do with getting people out of jail. I totally forgot about that. So I appreciate you saying that.
you know.
And that
So
was that was almost 15 years ago.
Yeah. Yeah.
right, yes.
It was almost 50. So everybody, I should hope, has grown up since then. We definitely have seen Ray J grow up a lot since then. We've even
Hey, when you
seen
start having
Kim.
kids in the family, you
Yeah,
change.
you even seen
You know.
Kim grow up. Kanye, on the other hand, like I feel like he's become more of a loose loose cannon. Like I don't know. I think the separation, just being a part of that family. Like I recognize that, that family does a lot of good, but the people that come out of that situation, they seem like they're very troubled afterwards. Like the men that have dealt with the women in that family. And like I don't mean that in like to say that they're doing something or it's witchery, because people have been saying some crazy stuff.
Man, it's documented. You
But when
know?
you look at the men that come out of there, like even someone like Scott, who's been a part of that family the longest. He's the longest running member, like outside of the family, that's been with that family. And I feel like he's hella damaged. Like he's a mess. He's trying to get it together now, but he's a he's a mess. Lamar Odom mess. Um
Kanye, the king of the mess.
Kanye is, yeah, he was a mess going in. So coming out, of course, he was a mess. Like I'm just curious, like, what is it about these women, y'all? They got these
Okay.
men messed up once they walk away.
So I'm gonna maybe you're attracted to what they are in the first place if you were
Mm.
messed up in that particular uh kind of way. So if I'm water and I attract somebody who's thirsty, you don't say, "Oh my God, what's wrong with her? These men are always, thirsty." It's just that I'm water.
I love the way you break things down.
Oh shit! These men are
So
thirsty.
exactly. So they are very, just look at um, the kind of women that they are, and then look at the one who keeps getting messed over. And she's kind of not like that. She kind of gets abused by the family. And that is Khloe Kardashian. Um, Khloe Kardashian keeps getting abused by these men, but all the other women keep getting men that they basically eat alive. But if you look at their personality, she has a different kind of I don't know, a flavor about her.
She
She
does.
walks.
That's why
You
they
got
said
a
she was.
different daddy.
They
That's
said she OJ
OJ, her
daughter.
daddy.
She might be OJ's daughter, but if you look at her even. Oh, I'm not trying to talk bad about this woman, but even the booty that she bought is odd. She came out.
Like a football player, like OJ.
She didn't come out quite right. Now, why do I bring that up? I, br- I bring that up because her insecurity doesn't just seem to be about her body and her looks. Her insecurity seems to be about her place in her mindset. She is such a giver, but she's a
She
given.
is.
Right. She's a giver in a way where people like leech off of her.
Yeah, they take advantage of her big time.
Yes, they take advantage of her. Now, if you born into a family with a bunch of wolves, you got to imagine how she used to get ate alive in that household.
I believe it. I think that's a big reason why Rob is the way he is.
Yeah, yeah. Like you can't be soft. And I'm not telling anybody that they shouldn't be soft, but you can't be soft with a bunch of wolves that are willing to take you out.
Mm.
Especially living in the house with them like that. Yeah, no, you're absolutely right.
So do you
Absolutely.
think she's an enabler too, Coach Love?
I think that when you are a people pleaser, um, you ultimately become an enabler until you set your own boundaries.
Mm. You
You
know.
know,
Okay.
and so it's not like you're an enabler on purpose.
On purpose,
It's
yeah, I get you. Yeah, I get it. I
it's
get
just like she's so hyper concerned about other people and other people's crap, and she does not give herself the required self-love. But I think she'll be okay by the time like she like, 40, 45, you know.
That's a long time.
I mean, but you gotta be bruised up enough to create enough
She
self-value.
she hasn't hit her rock bottom yet. And
Right.
I don't know how she hasn't because man, I just feel like she gets the raw end of the deal often out of everyone. And to me, she was the most stable one. Like she was the one that I felt like was the most genuine about who she was. As giving as she is, the advice that she would offer, the support and love that she gave to everybody. That always seemed very real about her. But I
Yeah.
always felt like the other two were like, I don't know. They just, I don't know. It was all about them. And I felt like Chloe was never really like that.
So you see exactly what I'm
Yeah,
saying.
I do. Yeah, I do. I get it. And then
If
the
you
other
don't
2, the Jenner girls, they just go off and handle their business. They ain't got time for that bullshit that the Kardashians are on.
right, they're just like whatever. But if you don't have, um, let me first say this: the reason why I recognize it, how would they put it? Game recognized game. I recognize a person who does not necessarily who is like really altruistic and self-sacrifice. And it's like I don't mind losing if it's going to help you win. But I had to literally grow out of that because you have to be self-protective and you
Mhm.
have to get out of that
Me too.
mindset that is selfish,
Yes, I agree. I
you
agree.
know. But growing up around people who are really, really selfish, you almost don't want to be that way. So you have to create a right balance. And so she probably never wanted to be what she recognized as truly wrong in the people around her.
Mm.
Yeah. No, that makes sense. That's very true about her. And I felt like the last couple of years I felt like Courtney cuz I always thought she was kind of stuck up too. And just kind of like very selfish, but then I started realizing that I think she was starting to take a lot of like she started taking inventory of herself,
Yeah.
and that's why she was like, I need to step away from the show. Everybody thought she was
Mm,
crazy. They were like, what do you mean? What do you mean? And like her sisters were like, how are you just gonna walk away from the show? You already don't do nothing. You don't, you won't stick to a business idea. You won't do this, you won't do that. And like they were criticizing her heavy. And she was just like, I need peace. I
mm,
need to be in the right mental space. And I said, that is proof that not just everyday people who have issues, feel that way. You got a
mhm,
celebrity who's making millions of dollars, whose life is documented every minute, whose family is dragged every day, who is
mhm.
going through something mental and was like, I need to take inventory of myself and I need to take care of myself and I need to step back. I was like, I thought that was really big. That was a big moment for her. And she wouldn't let her sisters talk her into doing anything that she didn't want to do. She was like, I'm over it. I need to step away and I want to focus on my kids.
So this is Courtney who said that?
This was Courtney, and this was a few seasons
Mhm,
ago, like right before the end of the original Kardashian show. And I don't
mhm.
really watch it. Like it'll be one of those things where you ever just happen to catch a show, and if
Yeah,
they're doing a marathon, you end up getting stuck if you start watching any of the next episode. So it
yeah.
was kind of like that situation. And I just kind of was like, this show is still on? Like what could they possibly be talking about now that interests people? And so I
So
watched for a little bit.
listen, I am with you. I am not a deep follower of their show, but check this out because I don't know how long they've been on 10, 15 years. I have no idea.
It's been a long time. It's been like 17 years. Has it been 17 years?
Uh,
Like 20 something seasons.
So a long time, but this is what I'll say about any reality show that is of that nature when you're just following a family like that. It is not many places where you can just watch something evolve, the mundane evolve, and you are not deeply emotionally connected to it. For me, why is that important? Because you really do get to see sister style problems, real mother
Mhm.
and daughter relationships, and how things stretch, and play off of each other, and it's still okay. Um, I watched. What was her name? What's the mama name? What's
Chris.
Chris? I watched Chris one time compete with Kim, and it was, basically over some BS. And that is really toxic and unhealthy. Now
Oh yeah.
right, they're doing it at a level where nobody's really going to lose. It's just going to be like, oh, I got it before you did. However, if you boil that down to, in everyday life, and it doesn't have to be a mother and a daughter, it could be a sister and a sister. And sometimes you're in a relationship where your family member is not happy until you lose. And so you get to see
Mm.
that, right. You get to see that played out on a larger level, and then how to move around that, and then how to grow past that and still love this love this person, because they might kill anybody in the streets for you, but they don't want you to be better than them for nothing.
Yeah, that is toxic. And it's terrible, when that's someone that's like right in your family. That's right. But your family will be the main one before a stranger to not wish you well, not support you, not, want to see you win, that want to compete with you. And I think it's actually a dangerous rhetoric to show on television a mother and a daughter in that space. But
So
I just kind of take it as it's made for TV, but it's still a detrimental message if you ask me.
I think it's a detrimental message if it wasn't reality.
But it's not.
Oh shoot, I have listen, I beg to differ 100%. And the reason why I beg to differ is because I have the blessed opportunity to be in a women's group. It's been around for 30 plus years. Look, I've been involved with them since 2010. And um, I hear story after story after story after story about how these very complicated relationships um, take take place, and it is it is wild, and it's not just on the female side. More recently, I've had the opportunity to sit in a lot of men's groups, and oh my god,
But are these people speaking from the perspective of being in front of a camera?
they're speaking in front of the women's group. I didn't even I didn't even know anything about being in front of a camera when I first joined these women. So absolutely not. These are just women that over the years have poured out their heart to me, and I happen to be in um,
Right.
ministry.
That's my point. Those stories that you're hearing, those conversations that you're having, that's the real deal.
Yeah,
That's These are the people that are telling you their experience that they have day to day, and it's for real. A lot of
right.
this stuff that is so-called reality television is scripted to
Okay.
give you what they want you to believe is going on. I know too many people that do reality shows to
Oh
believe
yeah.
half of.
Okay. So yes, yes. I
Yes,
didn't
to
realize
believe.
that's what you were
Yeah,
saying.
no, that's what I meant. I meant like the situations are reality. Yes, absolutely. But a
Hmm.
lot of what we're seeing is curated.
Yeah.
Everything on television, everything on social media, it's all curated based on your search
Yes.
history,
Yes.
what you watch, what you talk about, what you type in social media is curated for entertainment. So I don't see too many shows that are true reality.
So I guess what I was just trying to highlight was not saying, "Oh, the Kardashians are so real." Girl, they are
No, you
scripted,
were talking about the
crafted.
experience.
Yeah, but I am talking about that it is interesting to see that type of experience played out on, on a small screen and such an intricate level. Like if you don't watch it real close, you can almost miss it. And so all of these things to me feel like learning moments. I'm gonna switch gears on you because this is kind of back in the day, and I don't know if you'll remember it, but Nene Leakes, what's the other lady's name? Kendra Moore, what's her name?
Kendra.
Kendra Moore, and then Cynthia, right?
Oh, Kenya.
Kenya. Okay, yes. Okay. I watched literally in front of my eyes, and I've seen this in real life, but it was good to see uh, on the screen in an intricate way, Kenya Moore come in and treat Cynthia like she was property and steal her friendship from Nene for the purpose of basically I can and making an ally on the show and then watch Cynthia fall for it. Watch some of the audience and the people around her fall for it. And then when Cynthia left the show, bam, drop that girl like a bad habit. I said, look at here.
I didn't really watch. I watched the earlier seasons and then I kind of
Yeah.
got away. I've kind of gotten away from reality TV.
And
I don't know. I feel like I'm watching all the same like 3 shows. You know what I mean? Like you're tattooing somebody and sleeping with somebody. You're a housewife and you're sleeping with somebody. Or you're making hip hop music, but you're sleeping with somebody. Like it's all the same shows in 3 different varieties. I don't really watch a lot of reality shows, but I can definitely see that happening just because of the type of personality that Kenya Moore has.
so I receive you on the not watching them. I don't have to watch them. For me, you could I could not watch the Housewife of Atlanta or whoever these people are for a year and pick back up on
Pick
them.
right back
It-
up. It's because it's a
yeah,
soap opera.
right. It's a soap opera. So, if I watch One Life to Live today, I could, or General Hospital, I could probably figure out what was happening by the,
Girl, I was
with
just looking
one.
at that the other day.
Okay, look, they've been the same since I was a kid,
It's
so it is
still
a
the
soap opera.
same. Sonny Corinthos is still the same mob boss he was when I was watching
Okay,
3 years ago. Okay.
yes, but the I guess what I'm trying to point out is I don't necessarily feel like it's a good idea to be a reality show fan per se, and I don't think it should consume your life. For me, I'm forever a student. I am always looking at something like a student, like I'm taking notes, like, this
Hmm.
personality is doing this, this is doing that. So I'm not necessarily going right or wrong. I am going, how do we get here? And how are the feelings playing? And then what's the benefit to the particular characters? I'm never on anybody's team per se. I'm just kind
I'm the
of
same way. I agree. I'm the same way.
I'm just looking at the whole reality of the situation, and it's almost really for the same reason I listen to. Um, I'm just going to say the goriness that's out here, you know, on on YouTube, the fighting
YouTube.
just for the fighting just for fight. Because I really listened. I was like, what in the world? Because I thought what was I did not know that YouTube was like a reality show.
Yes, it is.
I
I'm
did not know that.
learning. Yes,
Oh
ma'am.
my God. And I did not know about the setups and there's all this weird stuff that people do. Like I am me, I am just me, but I did not know how
Mhm.
people do stuff to one
Yes,
another.
listen, I'm right there with you. I am right there with you. I was like, yo, this is a soap opera in itself. You don't even need reality TV. You just need a good
Right.
connection and a subscription button. And I see all kind of stuff on here, and I'm just like, I'm bewildered to say the least. And I like, and that's part of the reason why like the first perspective is so important to me, because right now my focus has been interviewing. And so
Yeah.
like my goal is I want to learn about YouTube in the different sectors and the different this and the different that. I don't need to be a part of it, but I want to understand what this world is that I am now involved in. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I've taken the stance of I start interviewing the content creators in these
Uh-huh.
different areas so that I can start learning about, okay, what is this all about? And how did you get into this? And how does somebody find themselves in this situation, in these situations? Like I really want to know. So like
Right.
I'm using my platform to educate myself as well as, bringing content to educate people on certain things.
Uh-huh.
I mean, but yes, I'm right there with you. I'm learning. I had no idea that YouTube was what it is. I thought people just came on here, and I knew the kids watch toy reviews. Like
Right.
I watch, Ryan play with his toys.
Mm-hmm.
And then I would look up like music videos from back in the day, or how to fix something on the car, like a mirror or something. Like, that's what I thought YouTube. I had no idea about these shows and the beef sector and the black sector and this sector and the
Girl,
drama that go from platform to platform. I had no idea. So I'm like, I don't need a TV. I don't need reality TV. I really don't, because this is true reality right here. Virtual reality, but it's people, it's real people. It's not scripted.
you know what? So I'm going to say what I found out is it's some of it's scripted and some of it's not scripted. It is like, oh, what was that show? Fresh. Oh, or it was it was basically where people were playing pranks on people.
Oh yeah.
Back in the day. It's old.
Yeah. Oh goodness. Punked. Was it Punked?
Punked, no, it was way before Punked, but Punked is kind of like Punked. Yeah. So we'll use Punked because that's kind of more modern. But basically, that's what some of YouTube is like, because like you might have 4 or 5 people who are a part of the joke,
Hmm.
and then you have 1 or 2 people that's coming in genuinely thinking that something is what it is. Okay.
That would be me. that would
Yes,
probably
that
be
look,
me a year
that would
ago.
be I promise you that would look that would be me, and that was me. Had no idea that a lot of these things were setting up for a punked situation.
They call it making plays.
Yeah,
Making plays now.
making plays, and then how you end up with a fight with somebody because you typed something in the chat like hi. You was in somebody's chat, you said hi. What are you talking about?
Well,
It's like,
I've been fortunate so far over here at First Perspective to stand clear of a lot of that. But people always gonna try you. I mean, I'm prepared for anything these days, and I keep my head down, and I check people out. I don't allow myself to get caught up. Like there's been people who tried me already. I'm like, dang, I
mhm,
only been doing the show 5 months. You know what I mean? And
mhm,
you already got people who just gonna try you just because, whether it's they being disrespectful to me or my husband or whatever. But I realized that a lot of it is how you react to certain things. Like my temperament has changed since I turned 40. I always tell people 40, what was 40 for me? It was the culmination of zero fucks given. Okay. So I don't have
yep,
time. That was really what it was, because I really felt like a sense of calm come over me when I turned 40, where a lot of things that would make me turn up, as the young people would say, don't even
mhm,
affect me anymore. I can laugh
yeah,
at them. I can just be like, I got my husband for the hypeness, because
mhm,
he's calm, but he'll definitely like get bothered before I will with certain things. And so the nice thing about us is that we can balance each other. So when he get riled up, I'm usually the one with the cool head that can be like, "All right, babe, it's really not that serious, yo. Like, just brush it off." And then when
Right.
I might be feeling some kind of way, he is the cool head that can tell me, "Babe, just chill."
You
I
know
can't
what?
take nothing serious on YouTube. I just can't. I won't allow myself to get bothered by an avatar.
Oh, not a whole avatar, girl. Not a whole
I'm
avatar.
saying, I
But,
can't
but
even
that is
I don't know your name, I don't know nothing about you, I never seen you, you don't know me, you don't know nothing about me, you just know what I tell you. I'm not gonna let you make me bothered, and I never even seen your eye color.
yes, and listen, that's 100% the truth. Hold on, I need to just push pause, but I do want to go back to the things that we were talking about. But I want to push pause, and I want to say this: I think you guys are a beautiful couple. I just think the way you guys love on one another and that you're having fun with this together is lovely, lovely,
Aw,
lovely.
thank you.
Um, I just give y'all all kinds of big ups. And then Fresh, I want to make sure I give you your props because I caught you being a drunk uncle, but I also caught you on behind the bar. You always seem to have a very cool head, and but you definitely get it in when you want to. So I'm gonna give
Don't
you
he know?
yes, yes, he does. I wanted to give you your props on that because I came in hot just I think talking about the subject matter and I didn't get out all, the honor and glory that I just wanted to give you guys um off the top. So I had to make sure I got that in before I went another step. I wanted to make sure I said
Thank you so much for that. I appreciate that.
100%. But as far as what's going out on YouTube, I think that YouTube and whatever you're doing on the internet actually has it up on the reality shows because the participants can affect the game. I'm glad I now know I don't do what is out here, but I'm glad I now know what it is at this point in time, because it's almost like like the remember like in Roman times and then people be like off with their heads. So it's like the crowd is participating in this whole big land of foolishness and some of it's real, some of the people's emotions are real, especially if they're very genuine. Like I would say you and I are genuine people. We're not playing a character per se, right? But out here a lot of people are just who they show up on as an avatar is a character. They're nothing like that in real life.
Mhm.
They show up and just, they put on their show and it's their outlet. It's an outlet for them. Just out here clowning.
No, you're right. You're absolutely right. And I think that the more people are able to see when people are that way, when people are a character, the
Hmm.
easier their experience on YouTube will be. Because there's plenty of people like I know Maine, Maine catches a bad rap from a lot of people.
Hmm.
Um, but I don't look at him that way.
Hmm.
When he do the crazy things that he do, because I know him and
Hmm.
realize that he is a character
Hmm.
on YouTube. You know what
Hmm.
I mean? I'm able to understand his humor. I'm able to understand a lot of the things that he do so much better because I am aware that the person that we see on YouTube doing the show is not necessarily the person, that I talk to when I need advice about my show.
Right. Right.
So I'm not too emotionally invested in a lot of the stuff that I see, but it is true entertainment. I enjoy it. I welcome it. I embrace all of it because, like I said, I know how to separate myself from it. But, I
Hmm.
appreciate good content. I appreciate, learning something. That's why I really like your channel. Um, because you usually have shows that are educating people on something. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Whether it be how to relate to people, how to do certain things. I think we have a similar mindset when it comes to the type of content that we want to put out.
Right.
But
Right.
I really do that is the kind of lane that I kind of like. But I'm not opposed to a little bit of the bullshit every now and again.
I think I admire what you're doing because what you are doing is like it's like you out there in the streets, but at the same time you have a very serious mindset about it, and I think that has made you really get a following that specifically follows you, and you have a community.
Mhm.
You have a community, and so I definitely see you have carved out your own lane. People participate in your show. Um, and you bring meaningful topics like both of us we did breast cancer this month, but you're doing it the way you do it. If you flipped over to my channel and listened to the women talk about breast cancer, they were talking about um basically their whole guide journey and really getting into like the detail of their life. So that's not everybody's lane because I don't think that so many people can if you don't have a relationship with God and if it's not like really meaningful in your life, then I don't know that you will be drawn to that particular message. You might miss out on what was important about her journey just because um it was so deeply rooted in God. Literally every other word is God, and I talk about my relationship with God all the time because I literally that's what I be thinking about.
Right. I honestly believe that the breast cancer awareness show that we do on the 27th, there will be a lot of mention of God because both of the ladies that survived this give all honor to him for getting them through it.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So,
Mhm.
like, I don't even think I don't know. I don't even think you can have a show like that without it. I don't know how often it'll be mentioned, but I know it will be mentioned because when I vetted these ladies, their stories, it was giving honor to God. You know what I mean? So I'm looking forward to definitely hearing both of them tell their stories. Um, my sister is a survivor and I know she is
Oh,
deep
wow.
yeah, she's deeply rooted. I just went and did my mammogram just this past not this Saturday, but the Saturday before. It was my first one. So that
Mm,
was definitely a experience, and I'll be sharing
yeah.
that as well on my show. And my goal is each month to really focus on what that month's awareness is. There's
Mhm.
typically several of them every month.
So
So
listen, we're going to be tough because that is something I definitely do.
yeah, that's something that I definitely want to start doing because there's so many different things out here that
Yes.
they want to bring awareness to every month, but the awareness is not there. So it's going to take people like, you and I and people like
Mhm.
other content creators to bring these things to the forefront. It's up to us, to help our community save themselves because
Mhm.
African American women are some of the highest ranked women to die from breast cancer. Men are often overlooked when it comes to
Mhm.
breast cancer, and
Yeah.
theirs are way more terminal than
Yes.
women.
Yes.
They
Yes.
don't even catch it early. Typically, their diagnoses come later. And
Mhm.
that's a problem, and that's because a lot of people don't realize that men get breast cancer too.
I know.
So
I
this kind of thing is really important to me.
and so on that tip that you were saying about Black women, do you know that the advancements in the cure rate are are dropping significantly with everybody else except Black women?
Mm. See, that's a problem.
Uh-huh. That's a problem. It's a problem in a lot of areas. A few things that need to improve. Number one, Um, Black women need to start taking care of our health.
Yes.
So we just can't be being willy nilly. And I'm going to connect two things. Black women have a high STD rate because we let things fall by the wayside. But in the same way, we have this thing with our breasts because we let things fall by the wayside. How do we do that? We are so busy being busy. You know, we know how to lay our edges, but we can't brush our
Breast
breasts.
exam, right. Yeah.
Exactly. We,
I
we
listen, I agree with you 100%.
right. And it just takes it takes a lot of time. Also, Black women have a lot of pressure on them. And what do I mean by that? I mean that we might have we might be cool, but then our girl's not cool. And because we are good friends, we're keeping other people kids. We're working. We're over at mama's house, being a caretaker. We're so many times trying to be superwoman.
Mhm.
Well, we constantly put ourselves in the back burner. And I'm not saying other races and other women don't have um, trouble with those boundaries, but I'm saying our women have a lot of trouble with those boundaries
Mhm.
because we've never really had a culture in our community where we were not burdened down with a family and a job, with
Right.
a family and keeping somebody else's kids because the people we lean on are already stretched. They don't have a lot of bandwidth. So there's that. Then number two, we tend to take jobs that don't give us the health care um, that we need. And sometimes we don't marry, we live with our men. So when you do that, you also don't get their health care. Now, we also know that healthcare in the blue collar world is actually typically better than healthcare if you're working like a secretarial job, or even if you are in corporate America, that healthcare is generally not good as you would get, let's say, if you were working, um, you know, driving a truck, or if you were working for, um, a, a- you know, a trash company, just like any kind of blue, or what's those people who on the street, they're doing the traffic stuff. Those places have good
Those
those
city workers?
yeah, those city workers, yes, yes. Those kinds of jobs have good benefits. So we might have a man that we've been with for 10, 15, 20, 30 years. Folks I know just got married after 30 years, grandkids and all. But anyway, y'all been living together all that time, but you can't get his health benefits. So everything's separate. So we tend to go ahead and do that in our community, which means we don't have the health benefits that we need.
Yeah,
Then the
we definitely have there's a lot of deficits. There's a lot of things that we don't have or we don't invest in that we need to have in our community. Like we just
we
don't.
just don't. Our
And
structure
so
is
that's
so
why it's
different.
important for us to find a way to bridge that gap. That's why I said I feel like conversations like this, putting in active works and putting certain things in front of people is so important. Like me, I don't get health insurance through a job. I'm self-employed. So I have to purchase my own health insurance for myself, my husband, my kids. Like
Right?
I would kill to be able to get a policy from a job at this point, but we have to pay out of
Yeah.
pocket. But you'll look at someone else who will choose to go without simply because they feel they can't afford it or they know they can't afford it. And like we have got to get out of that. We got to figure out how to keep our people insured because we have women not getting mammograms because they don't have insurance or because They hear the horror stories of what it was like getting a mammogram and now they're afraid. Like these are all the kind of things that we want to get into on that episode because our women are dying because they're afraid to get a mammogram. Like we
I
got to change that.
I am I am with you on that. Getting a mammogram does hurt. I'm not going to lie.
I didn't see me. I That wasn't my experience. I wasn't
Okay.
even remotely uncomfortable. And it was just like it was strange. It was a little cool to put your towel on a little plastic thing, but it didn't hurt. The lady was like super gentle. She really explained everything. And I'm like, I'm upset with myself because I think I allowed myself to be spooked by so
Okay.
many people saying, "Oh my god, it was the worst experience I ever had, and I don't wanna do that again." Like, it kept me from getting a mammogram because I was
So,
afraid.
oh my goodness. This is what I'm going to say. I don't want to discourage anybody from going. It's nothing to be afraid of. I mean, if you've gotten a shot, then you can get your mammogram. Okay, it's nothing to
Right.
be it's nothing to be afraid of. But what I'm trying to acknowledge is it is kind of uncomfortable and it did hurt me. And it for me, I have dense breasts,
Mhm.
and they did find a lump. I did have to go to the point where they um took a biopsy of my breast. It didn't hurt while they were doing it. I was awake, but baby, were my breasts tender and they hurt for the month after. Okay, yes, that happened. That said, I'm glad I went through it because I was able to find out that it
Right.
was fine, and they put a marker in there, and that was that. The other thing that I wanted to get out about Black women in our community, for some reason, and the reasons are many, um, people believe that Black people, in particular Black women, can absorb more pain. And so they tend to pretend when we're explaining our circumstances and our situations that it's not real, we're not believed, and when we actually go into the doctor. So this is what I'm going to say. If you can take a friend with you to go to your doctor, particularly if you have something wrong with you, you feel like your body is not operating as it should. And if you can get a friend to go with you, you should go because number one, when you're in pain, sometimes you don't listen as well. Um, and it is better to have two versus one while you're in that room. So if you're not married or you're not comfortable having your husband or your significant other go, take a friend so they can advocate for you.
Mm.
If you're not good at advocating for yourself, or you feel like you're not being heard, you've had the same issue for for a long time, and you keep going in and you not getting it fixed, take somebody with you and let them advocate for you.
No, that's great advice. That's great advice.
Yeah. It
Great
it
advice.
it is you know, I I have to believe that you know somebody who has not been heard when it comes to their issue.
Oh, absolutely. I did a show with a young lady, Marpiza. She came. She's a doula. And
Okay.
I love their jobs. I love what they do because they make sure if no matter what, whether it's a home birth, hospital birth, whatever, they are the advocate of the mother
Right.
and the father or the
Okay.
parents, period. And they make sure that you are heard, that
Okay.
your needs are met, that your demands are met, that what you need for your birthing experience is met because it's meant for each one of them to be customized. It's not a
Mhm.
cookie cutter experience. Every woman's pain threshold is different. Every woman
Right.
breathes different. You know, you might need to push different. Everybody has a different birthing plan, and the doula's job. And let me tell you, my girl Marpiza, she ain't no joke.
Okay, now.
Yes. So I am totally in agreement with you as far as having an advocate and making sure there's somebody listening,
Mhm, mhm.
to you as a patient or any area in life where you have to speak up for yourself. So I agree with that 100%. I don't know if Fresh Breezy is still on the line. We're gonna actually get ready to wrap up. We're getting ready to hit the 2.5 hour mark. I'm so glad you came up because you actually added, some fresh perspective to all of the topics that we were talking about today, given the opportunity to look at things a different way. So I really do appreciate you for that. Did you have any closing remarks for us?
Um, I just want to thank you for having me. I like D Nice's questions, big up on that question because it's a good one. And
It is.
because we're ending, I'm not going to go into that. But keep doing what you're doing. And Fresh Breezy, thank you for having me. Lady Fresh, thank you for having me. It has been a pleasure.
I gotta have you back. We
All
gotta
right,
do a show together.
please do. Please do. I'm out here. Hey, what is your business? What is your business?
What is my business?
Yeah, what is your business? What you or your business owner?
Like, what do I do
How do you
outside
say
of
yeah,
YouTube?
yeah, how do you help people? How do you help people with your
So I have one, two. So okay, so I aside from the podcast, I run 3 businesses.
Okay.
I have my main career is I'm a hair transplant specialist.
There
So
you go.
I help people who suffer from thinning.
Alopecia and stuff like that.
Alopecia typically in my female patients, yes.
I love that.
Alopecia is one, and then you just have people who just have male pattern baldness. And, we just surgically remove from one area and we transplant it to the areas that they need it. So that is what my main career is, and I've been doing that for 17 years, and Breezy works with me. We work together. So even my kids, I have my daughters in it, my stepson, like it's a family thing. We run the business. So I've been 17 years, and I want to say Breezy's at about 10 or 11, and then my daughter, she's been working with me since she was 16. So she's 20 now. So she's got almost 5 years under her belt.
That is beautiful and unique. I would love to talk to you about that one day.
Absolutely. We're putting together a show about it. So we're going to be probably doing something on that in early December. But
Awesome. Beautiful. I'm so glad I asked. Thank you.
yeah, you're so welcome. A lot of people are interested in that. So I'm going to definitely be doing a full show about it. I actually had the opportunity, Fresh and I both um had the opportunity to be a part of one of our doctors reality show. It is actually on TLC. It's called Bad Hair Day.
Okay.
And we work in the office of Dr. Mina Singh here in Kansas City.
Okay.
And even though we're not on camera, the very first episode is a patient that we worked on personally. So the result that she has, all the grafts that she received that day, we
Mm-hmm.
are responsible for transplanting her. So
Oh,
um,
wow.
her result is something we're really, really proud of. We get to see our work every now and again when people come back and show. But sometimes people don't even bother. They're just like so happy that they don't even bother to come back and be like, look what you guys did. But sometimes people will come back, they'll get a second or third procedure, and we'll get a chance to see some of the work that we've done.
Oh, wow. That is really, really cool. So, what is so it sounds like you are part of the doctor support staff. What is the credential that is associated with that?
Well, I studied criminal justice in college, but then I was like, okay, I was interested in nursing too, but I
Mhm.
didn't want to spend another 60 grand in it. So I took like a certification in medical assisting.
Okay, yeah.
And like Fresh Breezy, he had phlebotomy under his belt. So most people that get into hair restoration have some type of
Mhm.
medical background, but you don't have to. You get trained. And
So
so like that's what my company does. So what me and Fresh do, we have a technician company. So it's like a
okay,
staffing agency. And
okay,
they call us, we own the agency, and we go out to different doctors' offices and we run their surgeries. So they can't do the surgery without us. We're the talent.
No, I honestly feel you on that. I was a physician recruiter purely for a number of years, even though I do all positions in healthcare. Well, all a lot of them. And I taught MAs and things of that nature. Surgical tech
Mhm.
knowledge were my favorite students because they 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 mean, girl, they mean, they tough, but they smart. Like
Right.
they're extremely smart. But so and I had a staffing company for a few years. So
Okay.
yeah, so I actually understand what it is that you're saying to me. So I received that. Um, Excellent, girl. You guys are awesome.
Thank you. Well, we try. We do a lot of we do everything together, honestly. Like we run the business together, we work together, we do the podcast pretty much together. Like we do everything together. That's my best friend. So we're able to, you know what I mean, really hone in on our crafts and make them better with one
So
another. And then we teach our kids,
you got
at the
a
same
true life partner. What you have there, ma'am, is a true life partner. You are killing the game. Big ups to
We
many.
trying, we trying.
Yeah,
But I thank you so much for your wisdom because I get a chance to pop in over there on you every now and again and hear, some of what you got going on. So I truly do appreciate you hitting the panel.
thank you so much. And listen, obviously, I could talk to you a long time, so I'm just going to cut it off and say, peace out. Good night. Thank you, everybody. And big ups to Lotus Flower Bomb out there. Bye bye for now.
Bye. All right, y'all. So I actually went like an hour over I was planning to do tonight, but it's okay because good conversation, I'm always there for it. I think Breezy actually dropped down already too. So I'm gonna pull him down. Yeah. So I appreciate you guys for tuning in to another great episode of The Fresh Perspective. I'm gonna come up and say bye to everybody. Thank you guys for tuning in. I hope you guys learned something today about that whole notorious versus notorious thing. Um, until Breezy brought it to my attention a few months ago. Again, we're kind of late putting it out there, but until he brought that up, I had no idea that Notorious B1 even existed. I had no idea that he had a song even remotely close to what Notorious B.I.G. had, but it goes to show you that you just don't you have to do your due diligence. You have to protect yourself. Get your music copyrighted. Library of Congress, you file it with them. That way, if there's any discrepancy in writing credits, production, date, you can sue. Point blank period. And it's my belief that if he was properly copyrighted, this wouldn't even be a conversation. He would have definitely taken it to the courts and he would have won. The sound is way too similar. And so, it was an excellent topic. Thank you to Fresh Breezy for bringing it forward. Um, as far as Kim K, Coach Erica Love, salute to you. Thank you for coming up. She gave some interesting perspective on that as well. I honestly don't really feel like Ray J had anything to gain from releasing that. However, you know, Erica made a good point that message was left on his voicemail. So it came from him at some point, somehow. So yeah. Well, you guys are awesome. Thank you so much for tuning in. Everybody that was in the chat. Thank you to my mods and Lotus Flower Bomb, you the bomb. You've been circulating everybody's information. So thank you so much. I'm gonna wrap up. I'm gonna play some more of the Notorious's music. And we will see you guys next week for another episode of The Fresh Perspective.
Super Nintendo, Sega Genesis. When I was dead broke, man, I couldn't picture this. 50-inch screen, money green leather sofa. Got 2 rides, a limousine with the chauffeur. Phone bill about 2 G's flat. No need to worry, my accountant handles that. And my whole crew is lounging, celebrating every day, no more public housing. Thinking back on my one-room shack. Now my mom pimps an act with minks on her back. And she loves to show me off, of course. Smiles every time my face is up in the sauce. We used to fuss when the landlord dissed us. No heat, wonder why Christmas missed us. Birthdays was the worst days. Now we sip champagne when we thirsty. Damn right, I like the life I live. Cause I went from negative to positive, and it's all. And if you don't know, now you know, you know, you know. And if you don't know, now you know, you know, you know. If you don't know, now you know, you know. Oh my Lord, I'll be damned if I die by the sword. I'm from the old myth, but now I'm on the map. Notorious B1, Mr. Big Dad. Here comes the man with the big belly. 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 Here I am, once again, so get a grip. And let me get my cash, then it's time for me to skip. It's the street funk jammer, the funky track slammer. And yo, I'm hitting hard with the underground grammar. Straight from the dope with my boys on my side. The CAL is always down for the hoop ride. So listen up, motherfucker. If you're gonna step this step, but be prepared, cause the gun is kept through my coupe for a nigga like you. And if you wanna pose a threat, yo, let's take it to the avenue. I mean the block where we chill. When niggas get ill, and motherfucker will see who's real for real. I never thought about the keys that I sold. I moved a few 20s, for me that was plenty. Cause I'm a rap artist, not a rap singer. So back when I was younger, yes, I was a gang banger. But now I'm on the down low, trying to make the cash flow. And if you step wrong, I'ma kick you in the asshole. To let you know where I stand on this map. G Notorious B1, Mr. Big Dad. Here comes the man with the big belly. 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 Here comes the man with the big belly.
Keep it rocking. Whatever I say to make you take your love away from me, I take it back. And whatever I did, just tell me how to fix it and I'll do that. Cause I need you back. Ever since you've been gone, I've been running through all these girls, they don't compare to you. The way you do this shit back, things so fast, they don't do it like you. And girl, I know it's wrong, but I'm still stuck on the way you used to look in your jeans before I took them off. You said I wanna get to know you just tonight. So show me that, show me that, girl, I'm trying to make you juicy. Yeah. Juicy booty, girl, tonight.
Oh, you got something so juicy. Got me ready to
everything that you say. Yeah. And it is an honor cause you got a huge thing. And if you could get it and put it into shade, I ain't never scared.
I don't want nobody else. I don't want nobody else.
Give you all of my attention. It's straight shots, no champagne sipping tonight. It's that kind of night. At Netflix, do this massage. Better yet, turn that shit off. Cause I love to hear you cussing at me. Like, oh shit, baby, too deep.
Hey, what's up? Hey, welcome to my place of business. I own this.
What do you?
There's some big ass skates now.
Well, I mean, you know, I got big feet. Come in, what it is.
Yeah, that's crazy. I hope you don't crash into the wall. Have fun.
You never felt this feeling when I touch. Ooh, I never loved a body like I love you. Hey, it's my only one. You love. I don't want nobody else. I only want you to love. I don't want nobody else. They say love is all we missing.
You need to get it. Take no one with love you the right way. He ain't gonna. It ain't where he's at. It's where he wanna be.
No, Keisha.
Yes.
I like this one right here. This one for all my ladies, y'all. Let's go. I don't want your man, cause I got it like that, but it ain't even gotta be like that. Your man, he be calling me back. He say I'm fine, and a matter of fact, he asks how I do that fit my jeans over baby fat. Listen, I don't know the type of tricks he playing, but I should warn you, I don't want your man.
I understand why you wanna try, make him stay home late at night. But if he wanna go, he'll be gone, no lie. I can't explain how many times I tried, how many times I cried, thinking about mine and where he might be. Remember when I gave everything I got, couldn't get deep down inside. How you love someone who didn't love me.
Come on.
Now I get it, if he don't wanna love you the right way, he ain't gonna. Ain't where he's at, it's where he wanna be. If he ain't gonna love you the way he should, then let it go. If he ain't gonna treat you the way he should, then let it go. If he ain't gonna love you the way he should, then let it go. If he ain't gonna treat you the way he should, let it go.
When the sun come out in the club, they gon' be like, damn.
Yeah.
I like it.
I need it. I need it. Oh, girl.
You know very well what you are. You're my sugar thing, my chocolate star. Cherry blossom kiss, what you give it makes my body rock, keeps me sizzling. Do what you want, I don't care. I'll be your lollipop.
You can lick me everywhere. Juicy fruit.
You're so
Juicy.
juicy.
Juicy fruit. Juicy.
Here I am, this love's for you. Hey baby, you're sweet as honeydew. Close my eyes, open fantasy, and you're here, you're right here with me.
Juicy fruit. Juicy.
Been a tremendous blessing to me and my family, my life, and I appreciate it.
Brother, let's cut that back.
You know, like I said, I always try to express my appreciation, to everybody. It's an honor.
Bread, perspective, real empowerment, you better be respected. Lady fresh on that motherfucking check-in. Weezy got her back, she stay protected. This bread, perspective, real empowerment, you better be respected. This for the jiggers, it's to get you through the night. Not for the haters that they don't come outside.